Good morning. This week I'm going to harvest everything fast and furious. This video, it might be a short one and ignore some of the mess, but there is a couple of things that I did, some mistakes that I won't be making again, so I have to record it and let you know so you won't make it in case you're growing baking beans. So let's get into it. We are going to start here. Now this is the bed with the black turtle beans in. I have two plants that I grow for the pollinators really, and you already know about them. The borage, well, you know with that one of course. And then I have pansies that I strategically leave around. It's a lot of the vegetation in this bed, but it was kept down fairly well. And the beans have done fairly well throughout. Now one of the mistakes, and I came here yesterday, I said I'm going to harvest these tomorrow, and then I found the pods. Whether or not an animal popped them open or they're popping open on themselves, I don't know, but you see? So they dried out, and they actually then popped open. I am going to collect all three types of beans in this bucket because, well, they're obviously different. And if I want to separate them later, well, I can. Since all the pods are ready to go, take the whole thing up. See, I don't know where those beans are. Will I have beans popping up here, voluntary ones, next year? Or have the crows or something taken all of them? Last year, I did put it in the videos that I planted these in the shady plot, and they didn't grow worth anything at all. So I was very disappointed. Earlier this year, once again recorded in the videos, I was talking about how these were not growing very well. We were having hot weather, but also dry. And they, like I said, wasn't growing well. So I thought, well, I'm not going to grow these anymore. And then we started getting some rain, and they took right off. So now I'm quite happy. I found out that they need full sun, and they need a fair amount of wet irrigation, fair amount of moisture. And as you've seen, there is quite a bit of other vegetation in this bed, but earlier on, when they were actually growing, the vegetation was low. A lot of this, like the borage and that, it took off when the weather started to cool down again. So I will pick all of these black turtle beans, and then I'll show you those. Then we'll go over to the Jacob's cattle. I changed my mind, as I often do. I really wasn't expecting to get this much. I have this bucket right full, And this one half full. This is all black turtle beans. So I'm sitting at my picnic bench here now, and I'm going to shuck them. I picked up each plant as you see me do with the first one, and I started to shuck them, and I thought, you know what, I might as well just pull off the pods and sit somewhere where it's comfortable and shuck them there. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, as you've seen with the earlier on, these beans are coal black. They're black. It's the middle of October, and the pods have to be dry for the beans to be mature. But I said, being the middle of October, for them to be edible, I don't need them to be fully ripe. This pod is still green, and so are the beans. As they start to change color, the beans inside are changing color as well, but as you can see, they're a purple color and a little bit of a greenish tinge down on the bottom. I have to dry these out, make sure they're good and dry before I store them. But I can still use them as baking beans. It's the middle of December before, at least the middle of December before snow starts accumulating. So I have 2 months before snow, but I've got a lot of stuff that I can do in those 2 months. Let's talk about the Jacob's Cattle beans. Not so shady here now because I've harvested the mustard seed and the leaves are all gone as well. But you've seen earlier in the year I had let the mustard plants grow up and they had completely shaded out the bean plants. And I'm not going to get much, and on top of that, these plants have died. And many of the pods are split open. This is Jacob's Cattle. I'm going to take all of those and put them in that container. I got practically nothing from Jacob's Cattle, but I'm not going to say I'm disappointed because I know what I did wrong, and like I said at the beginning of the video, it won't happen again. Now, this is soldier beans. And look at how many pods were there, and they're all broken open. So now that is a disappointment. I could have gotten quite a lot of beans off of this if I had known they were going to do that and harvested them, say, last week. But now, pretty much the entire crop of soldier beans is gone because I left them here too long. I got a couple of handfuls of the soldier bean pods when, like I said, if I had harvested them last week, I might have gotten just as many as I got with the black turtle beans. The soldier beans and the Jacob's Cattle beans, I didn't even get a 1 pound butter tub full and most of them were not developed. But no need to feel sorry about that. Last year was my first year growing baking beans, and I put them through their paces, and I think I found out what they need. This is where the compost bin was, so there's plenty of organic matter and fertility here. Here, however, I am building it up, so there's less fertility, but both places add full sun and give them plenty of water. That's the two things that's most important. Beans, of course, being a legume, they are nitrogen fixers, so along close to the peas. So full sun, give them lots of water, and then the more fertile your ground, the better they'll produce, of course. Next year, all three types will do well, because now I know, like I said, I put them through their paces, and I know what they need. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video.